Alright, back again, Luke here. And today we've got out the old Panda Custom Control Box Super Gun, and I figured we could put in this game here, Mystic Riders. So, let's pop this on and play some of that. Now this game actually has a couple of different names. The Japanese name is much longer. We'll turn this on here, let it warm up a little bit. The Japanese name is Maho Keibitai Gun Hoki, which is this board here. This is the Japanese one, but known in the West and other parts of the world as Mystic Riders. This game is quite beautiful. It looks really nice. It doesn't have a lot in the way of music, especially at the beginning here. There's not much of an opening, but for the game and the gameplay, it feels much like a Cotton game. You can see the introduction here, and there you can see there's absolutely no music, just a couple of sound effects at the beginning here. And we'll start it up. That's it. So put in a few coins. We might actually need quite a few actually, because the game is quite challenging in some parts, but we'll start it up here, give it a go. Let's see. The game has 6 stages here, and you have 2 buttons. Your first button here, which by pressing it rapidly you can launch out a rapid shot. By holding it down you can launch out a powered shot. And your second button is your broom, which is the most important weapon I think that you have in this game, just because without it you're kind of destroyed. Your broom is basically set on what is it? A reverse control scale, so everything is kind of backwards. If you want to launch your broom out forward, you push back on the joystick. If you want to launch it backwards, you push forward. Down is up and up is down, so it's inverse controls. But what's interesting about the game here is it's not very long. It's about 6 stages long. Well, it's exactly 6 stages long. And there are 2 rounds that you can do. You can do round 1 and then round 2. Round 2 is kind of a bonus round, but it's exactly the same game. It just makes it more difficult. But the gameplay on it is pretty good paced. You'll find yourself in some areas just going like, whoa, what do I do? But just because there's a lot of enemies on the screen. But it's a terrific, really well-designed game. This is one that I put up a little bit of gameplay on a few years back, but I was recently watching David, also known as CRTcade, and he had this running in the background, and I realized that I haven't done a full playthrough on it, so I figured we could do that today. Coming up on our first boss. And the first boss here, this boss can be cheap, as well as some of the other bosses, just because they don't give you a lot of leeway as far as like being able to escape. The more the power of your weapon here, as you can see, this one is almost on max, I believe. The faster you can get through the stage, and that power meter is up in the upper left-hand corner. And your rank will eventually go down as you keep going. If you continue to get a lot of the diamonds, you'll get a bonus at the end. The biggest problem, I think, is that if you get hit, I believe, like once or twice, your power automatically drops back down. The power of your weapon drops down quite a bit. Well, that's another thing I forgot to mention here. By rotating the joystick in kind of a circular fashion, you can actually create a kind of a shield for a split second here, especially if there's enemies around you. It can protect you a little bit. But the weaker your weapon is here, the longer it takes to destroy these guys, obviously. And this game is based on a one-hit kill, so if you get hit once, you do die, so... But it's a great, quirky little game here. It's definitely not better than the Cotton series by any means, but it is a good game nonetheless. See if we can collect as many of these as we can here. Coming up on our next boss. Gotta watch out for the rocks here. But with our powered up weapon here, it shouldn't be too bad to get through this. Oh! As I said that, I wound up dying. Well, we still got a little bit of power left here. There we go. Not too bad for that round. But the game is quite fun in a lot of aspects, hopefully. So you can see the rank went down there a couple of times. You'll probably find yourself having to go through it at least a couple of times in order to get the rank down to 1. If you want to get your rank all the way down to the highest level, or the highest rank. But definitely keeping the powered up weapon is going to help you out a lot. It makes the game so much nicer. Got some groovy music going on here. Nothing super fantastic, but not bad by any means. But the game does feel quite short. Sometimes you feel like, oh no, you know, I want to play some more, but your only option there is to play it through a second time. And the second time, what it does is it gives you a little bit of a different ending. Not very much. There's not much in the way of endings in this game. So you just get a little bit of something extra, but it's nothing, nothing too extremely amazing. And it does ramp the difficulty up quite a bit the second time around here. Here's our second boss. We can get through this here kind of quickly. Well, we have to continue. Power's gone down quite a bit, so... now it's gone down substantially more. Here's our guy, our boss. If you don't have a powered up weapon, this will take forever just to get him to get to this phase here. Was doing decent up until the end there, but nonetheless. We got 2 more stages here. This stage is quite nice, just graphically. The second time around, these guys can be just intense. They just stalk you left and right. Sometimes you'll notice you'll get a free guy. There'll be a 1-up sound that'll pop up on the screen. You can see the two different weapons here. There's the electricity one, and then there's the fire shot. But this game is not extremely common. It's a little bit tricky to find, I think, nowadays, to find the arcade PCB, but if you're into these kind of games, especially if you like the kind of Cotton-esque games, this might be one to try and track down. Here's our boss. Now this boss is really quite cheap here, as it's really hard to get away from him. You can see already. And the slowdown here, there's quite a bit of slowdown in the game. It happens just in certain parts of the game, so. But sometimes it benefits you, sometimes it really, really hurts you. And trying to get away from this guy is more than a challenge. But it's not over yet. But yeah, the bosses are quite interesting and fun. Whoa! Let's see here. Start this up again. But the first time around, this boss is quite simple. Second time around, it's just insanely fast and hard. Fast and hard, geez, that just is wrong. And you can collect items up until the music dies off there, and then it'll take you out of the stage. 2 more stages left here. But the last 2 stages here are quite interesting. I just really enjoy the colors that the game has. Really, really nice, vibrant colors here. In some aspects, instead of an IREM game, I mean, it does look like a Capcom game. And those who are familiar with the Capcom games will know what I'm talking about with the really, really vivid colors they use. yeah, not sure exactly what else we can talk about with this one here. But you can kind of see for yourself. Sometimes Wink comes up there. Whoa, let's get out of here. Oh, okay. Coming up on our next boss here. The bosses are quite quick in the game, so that's what makes it feel a little bit too short. But they are quite cool. Yep, that was kind of cheap. Difficult to tell where the boss is gonna come and attack you here. There we go. And some of the music in here really sounds like it comes from like a Sega Genesis, which is kind of nice too. And our last stage. Yeah, kind of difficult to get through this one. But this game can be played two-player co-op as well, so it's kind of nice. And in fact, I believe after you beat it the second time, maybe it's even the first time, but when you go to put your name in, even if you're playing one player, you can put in player 1 and 2, so... See if we can get... There we go. Yeah, try and collect as much stuff as we can here. Maybe get the rank down a bit more, or a bit higher. The first time I saw this game, I thought, wow, this looks like a game that I'd really like to own. And it took me about, I don't know, at least a couple of years to get it. Or to at least find it. And then when I finally did find it, I was really glad that I did. One thing I noticed about this board compared with some of my other boards is the screen contrast is a bit darker, so I have to adjust the brightness on my TV here in order to get it to play just right. And here's our final boss. Once again, this boss is much, much easier the first time around than it is the second time around. Now we're on to the second part here of our boss. And the boss has 3 parts. Gotta watch out for these spheres here. They will draw you right in, like so. Nonetheless, here we'll try and get through this in the next couple of minutes, hopefully. Try one more. Ah. There we go, died at the very end. But I think it's funny how it chokes itself. It sounds like a chicken, so it's choking the chicken. Never mind, we'll just leave that there. And you can move around in this part here. But that is the ending to our game here. Once again, this is a full playthrough here of Mystic Riders, and a wonderful game, really fun game. A bit short, but you can see it says play the bonus game. The bonus game is just a harder version here, but it will play exactly the same, just with much more difficulty. The enemies will be much more aggressive and a lot faster, etc. But yeah, just wanted to share this with you guys here, and if you stuck on this long, then fantastic. And I'll try and get another arcade board out here and do a full playthrough on it. So that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. Put in the old name. And there is our Mahol Keibutai Gun Holki.